Now, some people may be baffled by the fact that this particular company, Netflix, does carry on, of course, supporting and paying the rather disastrous idea that Meghan Markle could become a global star, all thanks to her. You can't really call it a cooking show, can you, chums? You could call it, say, something about repackaging things, right? Maybe just moving pots of jam around, putting nuts in plastic bags, that sort of thing. It's not exactly what you call a traditional Delia Smith, right? But there's a bigger idea moving behind the scenes of exactly why Meghan, not Harry, will be offered a very exclusive deal should this situation develop. As ever, let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you, chums. Thank you so much for taking the time out to join me today. And as ever, thank you for all your support on the videos. I'm glad you enjoyed, we'll have a wave, sorry. I'm glad you enjoyed the longer video regarding, of course, the sort of goings on in the darker side of Hollywood. I'm going to try and put them into podcasts for later listening, if you'd like as well. If, say, we all do this, don't we, if you're working out at the gym. I know, well, I can tell you're doing that. Lifting that cup of tea, that's a workout, isn't it? Or a coffee, plunging down that cafetiere. Do you still have cafetières, by the way? We used to use those a lot in the hotels. I could never get to grips with them. They either went flying out or the thing went everywhere. But they were a thing, weren't they? Yes. They are still a thing. Well, you're posh, you see, that's the thing. I'm an instant person, you know what I mean? Yes, a jar, bargain jar, it's a cup of coffee. That's the thing. It's a little bit like Meghan's cooking show, isn't it? Bargain, as some people might suggest. What I find fascinating about her show is the fact that there's nothing. It's a whole lot of nothing, isn't it? The thing is, there's nothing there that tells you what it's about, And I rewatched the original trailer the other day and thought, well, what was the point of this? And she says, I like to elevate things and I gravitate towards sort of colours and see where it goes from there, and I'll give you some tips. There are no tips other than getting cheap plastic bags and transferring them. But as I told you before, Ted Sarandos, who is the boss, of course, of Netflix for the content level at least, believes that Meghan is a global superstar. Now, there's two reasons behind this when you think about it, right? And this is the bigger reason. You see, obviously they spent a lot of money, and at the beginning, when they signed Meghan and Harry up, they thought all of their things were going to be magnificent. We're going to fly off the shelves like Heart of Invictus, Polo, Business Show, whatever. But he admitted the only thing that's gone so far is the trashy docu-series about trashing his family, not hers really. But what they're really hoping for from an excellent source that still works at Netflix is this. They're looking for the divorce book, the divorce payout, the divorce doc. And they don't realise, they realise that it will not come from, of course, the former royal known as the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry. It won't come from him, but it will come from her. And they're aligning, according to that source, and as ever allegedly, around about 1 million, because they believe that people will want to watch the fallout should, sadly, unexpectedly, whatever you want to call it, this might happen. Now, when you think about it, it's a sad state of affairs, isn't it, when people do speculate that. But let's not forget that both Meghan and Harry have been very vocal about the state of their marriage. Him going on the stage for the New York Times to say it won't happen. Meghan recently claiming in a sit-down podcast that it will be forever, and he's a fox and so handsome. Meanwhile, Vanity Fair, who've received no legal recourse in February of this year, claimed that an assistant of Meghan was shopping around a divorce book, should it happen. So if that was the case and she shut down many other things, a simple line of retraction out of that, would have been very significant, but apparently not. And apparently Netflix believe that in the future, should, sadly, this inevitability happen, then they'll want first dibs, but not with Harry, with her. With both be ideal, but they believe there's still more money in Meghan. Hence the fact they're trotting around with this particular cooking show as ever. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.